Alright guys, so weird situation we have here is flicking my mic is on. Is there bars coming through on the camera? Yeah, so I just thought I'd do another video while I'm here, or while we're here, just to push some content out. So I thought I'd do 5 things I love about this car and 5 things I hate about it. It's sunny, I can't open my eyes. Look, if you look at the sun's in my eye. Right, so first thing I love about the car, obviously, is the looks. It's pretty much an Evo 10. I mean, the front bumper here is slightly different than an actual Evo 10, but you know, you look at it far away, you look at them next to each other, you're gonna see the difference. But when you just look at it from afar, you're like, oh, okay, it's like a Lancer Evo kind of, I don't know, I might be wrong. It'll never be an Evo, but one of those sort of things. I hope the wind isn't picking up the mic actually, because that'd be really annoying. Yeah, the second thing I like is the actual tunability of this car, because obviously like everything that an Evo 10 has, you can virtually put it on this car, because under it and under all the software and stuff, it still is a 4V11 and it's still basically the same engine as an Evo and the same gearbox as an Evo. Basically everything's interchangeable, and all the Evo guys, all the guys who go for high power and that sort of stuff, it's real easy for you to go and, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So obviously, all the cheap parts that they don't use and they want to throw away, or they just want to, you can literally go on a Facebook forum and go grab it off them for like pennies. Like the turbo and everything that I got, you guys saw in the last video, I paid nothing for that. I basically paid for a service for all of that stuff, all of that stuff that I got from it, from Steve. So yeah, like, oh, you hear that pop? Jeez, you see that? You hear them cars, fam? Jeez. All right, so the next thing that I love about the car is obviously the interior. Is a little bit cheap and plastic, but for the price range that you can get this car, like you get the leather seats. Obviously, I don't think it's actually raw leather, but you get the leather seats, you get the sat nav. Sat nav ain't that great, it's probably terrible. It is really terrible. And you got loads of space and a massive like space at the back as well. The interior, it's noisy in there, but roughly around there, it is nice. It's nice to be in. Yeah, just in general, it's a really nice place to be. How many things have I done now? 3. The fourth thing on the list for what I do love about my Lancer Ralliart GSR SST Sportback, got that right this time, is that the price of these. Like literally, for this spec of the car, you're basically getting, again, a baby Evo. Like I can't stress it enough. You get the engine, you get the gearbox, and the pricing roughly around this, like you can get them for 6 to 7 grand. And they're really cheap because people don't really know about them, and the people who do own them who don't know about it, they just drive it around and daily it like it's nothing because they think it looks cool, not realizing what it actually is. So yeah, the 6 to 7 grand mark in UK money here in the UK is what you could potentially have a mini Evo, which is just out of this world. Like all the things I was looking for before I got this car and traded the Type R, I saw this and I was like, this for the money is, yeah, it's unreal. Fifth thing, and the fifth and final thing that I love about this car is actually the daily drivability. Now it is actually decent on fuel. Like it's surprising, like I'm getting like 30 mpg on the motorway, which is really good. And it does save you a lot of money, and just yeah, and just in general, like driving, it's comfortable. It doesn't make that much noise when you're just cruising along. When you're obviously fully sending it, then there's a bit of noise or whatever. But in general, just as a daily driver, it's like literally one of the best cars I've ever owned. Yeah, that's 5 things that I love about this car. No, we're doing 5 things I hate. I'm gonna do 5 things that I actually dislike or hate about my car. It has to be said that this car is from 2009. So some of the stuff from it isn't actually that great. For instance, we both hate it. The sat nav is terrible. Like, it is shocking. Like, what's your language? It's as I said, it's from 2009 though, so you can't really blame the car. I think you can take it to Mitsubishi to get it updated, which maybe I'll do in the future. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure yet, to be honest. Because
after COVID-19.
Okay, yeah, after COVID-19, that's when we're gonna do it. And it's terrible. Like, my car doesn't even have Bluetooth in it. It didn't come with Bluetooth, which is why are you being very? I was like, why are you being bare sarcastic? Said, what was that one? Yeah, it's from 2009, so the infotainment is just terrible. I don't have Bluetooth, which is, in this day and age, is like, at this time, you should have Bluetooth. Like, it should be done. At 2009 car, like, Bluetooth should be something, but it's not needed. It's not needed. Second thing that I hate about this car is the back. Like, the back is bloody terrible. I know that it's an unpopular, like, amongst the Ralliart owners, the Sportback, it looks good to them, but to me, I haven't fallen in love with it. I don't know if it's because there's spoilers here or if it's because this bumper sticks out too much. Overweight, to me, really. But I am getting used to it a little bit. Like, if you look at it from the rear quarter panel here, it looks actually really good. Like, it's a really good looking car. I just wish in the UK, if you are watching this over the pond, they don't actually sell the sedan or the saloon version in the UK. You can only get the Sportback in the Ralliart spec. Really, really rare to find that. You won't find it unless you import it or something. So, third thing that I hate about the Lancer Ralliart Sportback is the actual gearbox. Now, again, I might get a bit of slate for this, and maybe it is because it's the first automatic that I've owned, but I'm just not used to it. Like, sometimes it just does what it wants to do, and they actually say that you should leave it in sport and use the flappy paddles, but I didn't get an automatic for that. I got an automatic so that if I wanted to drive, I could just drive, and if I wanted to use the paddles, I could just use the paddles when I wanted to. But you can get that mapped out. There is software being developed for it. There's already software developed for some of it as well. So that definitely needs to be done for daily drivability. It's like, when you leave it in full automatic, the car wants to slip the clutches. It's so weird. Like, it's really difficult to explain, but it doesn't want to shift, which I think Mitsubishi didn't intend that for. This also does need a transmission oil change, because these do need to get changed every 20k miles, I think. The last service that I had was, for this car in the service history, was 6 months ago in November. It does need to get retaught as well, and if you don't know what reteaching of a gearbox is, it's when the clutches get misaligned. I've been learning a lot of stuff from, again, Carl and Steve. So the car does need to get retaught to know when the clutches need to come into play, as they do follow each other because it's a twin clutch transmission. Right, so the fourth thing that I dislike about my Lancer Ralliart, Lancer, whatever you want to say, is the actual steering input. And so I'm coming from a Type R, so I know it's a bit unfair because that car is literally like track focused. It was born and bred in the Nürburgring, but the steering is just too light for me. Like, I'm sure you can get it fixed eventually, but for me, it's just, it just kills the whole enjoyment out of driving. Like we're driving on the road and I'm so used to like turning like that, and this car just, while turning like that, it still wants to go like just a little bit straight. So I don't feel like it's safe for me to still drive. I can't drive it the same way that I drove my Type R in this, which obviously they're made for different things. Obviously it's just personal criticism. So the fifth and final thing that I dislike or hate about my Lancer, say it how you want to, the actual noise of the car. So I know I spoke about in the likes that I had, that the car, it's got like, even though it's kind of noisy when you're cruising, it's not. When you are driving, just in general, I guess maybe it's not got an exhaust, so I can hear literally everything, but you can hear the clutches whining, like whirring together. So there's a lot of noise, like there's just loads of noise. You can hear the injectors ticking. I have some chatter here, which I've asked multiple people and they said that's just normal, which is like, is mad. And frankly, it's quite worrying because when I got the car, I was driving and then I parked up and I heard it ticking over. and just running. And I thought the car was about to blow up. I thought it was on its last legs, but yeah, it's just normal. So it kind of it makes me worried to drive it even more. But you know, I keep on having to tell myself it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So that'll be fixed with an exhaust when I get it. So I won't hear none of that BS anymore. Just in general, those are 5 things I hate about the car. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the video. Still trying to bring you guys more content through this isolation. So yeah, oh yeah, we're on the road to 1K. We are isolating. This is our first time out, so we're getting some fresh air and that.
No one's here.
Nope, literally nobody's here.
Let me just show you.
Nobody's here, so
we are not breaking no rules.
no, just me in the car and that, really, and my babes. So yeah, guys, make sure you stay safe, stay at home, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.